meat specialist at the University of Kentucky. He says finding a market is a challenge in itself. So in the beginning, keep it simple by just telling your story.
The ribeye steak that comes with it is just a bonus. They're buying a story that you're a family farm, that your kids are involved in 4-H, that your oldest son is the president of the local FFA chapter. You know, the farm has been in the family for 2 or 3 generations. That's what people are buying, is the story.
Your product will demand a higher price because you don't have the same economies of scale as a large meat packer. Renfro says to look at the beef prices at your local grocery store and plan on adding about 30% to that. Customers like buying local and will pay premium for steaks, but usually not for ground beef and roast. One strategy is to sell meat bundles.
A $50 bundle has so many steaks in it, so many roasts, and so many pounds of ground beef in there. That way, you're not stuck with 400 pounds of round roast and chuck roast, and I've got 600 pounds of ground beef, and nobody's willing to buy it at a premium. And so you do one of two things. You either sell it at a discount so you can get rid of it, or everybody's eating hamburgers and roast for dinner for the next few months.
Learn more about direct marketing beef at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
Today's Daily Encouragement by William the Encourager, sponsored by Ted Russell Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty on Kingston Pike.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters. This is William the Encourager saying, praise ye the Lord, and let's pray. Father, we thank you right now, Lord God, for all that you've done, all that you're doing, and all that you're going to do in our lives today. Father, on this Monday, Lord God, let it be a new beginning, Father, for our brothers and sisters that are seeking you. Lord, help us to know the way. Lord, you said, your son said, he is the way, the truth, and the life. So therefore, that's what we're going this day. He is the way. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is William the Encourager, and I'm coming at you today talking about the way. Do you know the way? There's only one way. It's not your way. It's not my way. It's not our way. It's not their way. It's not Burger King way. It's Jesus' way. And Jesus says in John chapter 14, verse 5 and 6, Thomas said to him, Lord, we don't know where you are going, so how can we know the way? Jesus answered and said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No man comes to the Father except through me. See, there's only one way that we can get to the Father, and that is through Jesus Christ. There is no other way. The world says, hey, I did it my way. Maybe they do it their way, but their way leads to another place that we really don't want to go. We have access. Psalms 24:3 says, who shall ascend unto the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? No one except those that have permission. And you have permission because you have admission through Christ Jesus. Have you ever gone to one of the fairs or somewhere and there's a ticket booth, and you know you can only get on that ride by getting a ticket? Well, my brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you today that Jesus is your ticket to heaven. There is no other way. There's no other ticket that you're going to get. There is no discount tickets. There is no half-off tickets. There is no do this and you will get a free admission. No, it's only through the blood of Jesus Christ. So my brothers and sisters, be encouraged today and know that there's only one way, and that one way is Jesus Christ. So today, as you go forward, wake up and pray. Pray as you go. I know it's a little bit, the day is already gone and it's already far spent, but make a habit to get up early and to start praying and see what God can do if you will seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all these things will be added unto you. Friends, when we as men run into our man cave for answers, we only find temporary solutions. But when we run to God, he gives us answers through the word of God that gives guidance for the journey, wisdom to be applied to the various situations and circumstances that pertain to the freedom of the Spirit and liberty to the captives. And the Holy Spirit will lead, guide, and empower the believer to achieve greater things through Christ, which strengthens us. So, brothers and sisters, instead of running to your man cave or your woman cave, run to Christ. Run to your prayer closet and call upon the one that hears your cry and that is able to direct you to where you need to go, and the one who is able to give you that Holy Spirit that will lead and guide you and empower you to do the things that you cannot do on your own. So please remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Roane, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome into It's Monday morning. Today is the third Monday. You know what that means? It's Queener's Corner. David Queener. David's was going to be up here with us. He's a little under the weather. So we're going to get Mr. David Queener on the phone today and see exactly what he's got for us in store this morning. I think Dave's already on the phone. I was going to call him, but good morning. This is Ask Your Neighbor.
What's going on, Mr. Meredith?
How are you, David?
Surviving.
That's better than the alternative, pal.
Well, I know, but I'm tired of surviving in the house, if you know what I mean.
You kind of been like landlocked in the house for a while?
Yeah, I've been landlocked for a couple of weeks, just to be honest with you. Hopefully after Wednesday, maybe I get released on a little bit less restrictions and I can get out. So I've been locked in. So that's all right, though. What I had to have done, I need to get done. That everything's looking good. So I'm all right with having to sacrifice a little bit.
Well, hopefully by Wednesday you'll be up and about and around going again.
I hope so, that I will be. We'll see. That's when I go back to the doctor again. So we'll see if he cuts me loose with a little bit more. So we'll see what happens.
All right. What you got on your mind today? Anything?
Buddy, I got a lot on my mind of nothing, really, just to be honest with you. Hey, I know we usually don't talk. We do talk some on the national scene a little bit. I think some things that are, and I'll talk about that first before I go back to a local thing here and talk about here in just a second. But what do you think about the possibility of Burchett and Fleshman running off maybe for Senate?
I know Fleischman wanted it. I haven't heard if he's gonna pursue it heavily or not. You know that if Marsha wins as governor, she would be who appoints her own replacement.
Right.
So I don't know that they'd have to run for it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I know Burchett said, he just said here in the last week that he's interested in the job.
Yes, I know both of them had said they're interested in the job, and I don't know how that works. If they did that, do they have to have a special runoff to replace them in Congress?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, that's a good question.
I think so.
It is. I don't know if the governor. Maybe the governor could appoint that position also.
I don't know.
The election, and the election for that that'd only be a year away. Well, no, it won't be, because it'd be the same time as it'd be a 2-year thing.
It would be a 2-year thing after she'll run in 26 for governor.
Yeah.
And see, here's what I'm thinking. I think she's going to hold her seat in Senate, run for governor, and if she don't get governor, stay in the Senate. If she gets governor, she'll move and replace herself.
Yeah.
So I don't know how. I know Chuck told me many years ago that was something that he would consider doing, as time went on. So I don't know if it's the right time he's going to pursue it or not. But I don't know. I guess it's a natural progression, but I don't know why they want to leave Congress.
I don't either. Personally, myself, I'd like to see them run against each other, because you really got two heavyweights. I mean, you got a heavyweight from East Tennessee up this way in Burchett, and then Flashman from down, the Chattanooga way. It would be a heavyweight down there, and I guess it would be who could go Memphis and down in there and maybe, get the votes down there to over it. It'd be an interesting.
Yeah, it would.
I would think it would be an expensive one.
It would be a very expensive and interesting race if they had to run it. But like I said, if she wins, she'll get to appoint somebody, so somebody will get a free ride for the first little bit.
So if she gets to appoint it, then just a talking point would be, is the mayor of Knox County in position to get it?
He had talked about that. He had talked about even thinking about running for governor, but said he wouldn't if Marcia did. So he's obviously got some political aspirations. And I'll tell you this, too. With the House being as closely divided as it is, I don't know that President Trump would like to take a risk in losing a House member. I mean, not that they probably wouldn't. I think we would probably elect another Republican. But, I mean, there's a chance that they might, if they take that risk and take a Republican out of Congress, put them in Senate, then you have to have a runoff for somebody to go back in Congress. You risk losing that seat, possibly.
Correct.
So I don't know if they'd want, I don't know. The president might not be, not that he has a dog in the fight, but I'd say he definitely would weigh in on it.
Oh, I'm sure he weighs in on it. I think he does have a dog in the fight, just to be honest, because, with what's going on right now in Texas and California, redistricting and trying to pick up 5 more seats for this, and California's going to offset that now with 5 themselves. So I don't know. Why not just run and let's just see who gets elected? I think that'd be. I wouldn't worry about. Are they so worried that they don't feel like they got that good a control on it? I mean, that's just me. I
think so, but I think that your blue states have gerrymandered so much they can't do it anymore. And so I think that's why they're doing it right now in the red states. And I say to California, go for it, because they've gerrymandered so much they literally passed a law that they're not allowed to do it anymore unless it goes through and gets a majority vote with the citizens of California. So they'll have to have a complete special election in order to fire the outside source that they brought in to stop it from being gerrymandered anymore, because it's gerrymandered so much so that less than, I think, a single-digit percentage are represented by Republicans, even though Republicans voted 40% in the state. So I say to California, go for it, because you ain't got nowhere else to gerrymander. If you change it, it's going to help the Republicans anyway, and you literally have to undo the will of the people that voted to give it to an outside source. You have to say, no, that don't count. We don't trust you anymore. We need you to vote a different way, and get them to vote to fire the outside source, the third-party source, and then put the governor back in charge. I don't think it'll ever happen.
They say they're doing it. I don't know whether.
Oh no, he says he's going to do it, but again, he can say all he wants to. But what he's saying is he's going to have a special election and put it forth to the people to see if they want to change the rules that they had a special election to change in the first place, because people were tired of it happening. So they're going to have a special election to undo the special election.
That don't make no sense.
Well, that's what they're threatening. And again, what I say is bring it on, because you don't have anywhere else you don't have anywhere else to pluck, blue areas from. You've already got them all plucked. The only thing I think they could do is take all the illegal aliens, and they are counting them and giving them representation in Congress. Because now, if you've added 2 million illegal aliens to your census, those 2 million illegal aliens get a representative in Congress now.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing I think they could do, is have a different census. But I say when you start talking about Delaware and you start talking about places that like California that have already been doing this, Michigan, they've already done it for so long, I don't think they've got anywhere else to pick from. I think they've picked and done all they can pick and do.
I've not heard Michigan being mentioned any right now, but I have heard California, New York.
Well, I saw the governor of Illinois.
Illinois talked about the governor, the Spitzer guy, or whatever his name is.
And his excuse for the way they were gerrymandered, did you hear what he said? He said,
no, I didn't hear what he said.
He said they let kindergartners draw it. I swear to God, that's what he said. Because it's gerrymandered. I mean, it looks like a snake going up around the state, the way that they did it to gerrymander it so that Democrats could have more votes. And he was joking when he said it, but he didn't. He deflected from the question. He was like, "Yeah, we just had some kindergartners draw our maps for us. That's how that happened." So I say, they could threaten the Republicans. This is the first time Republicans have threatened to do it. If Republicans do it, I don't think Democrats will have an answer for it, and I think Republicans will do it, and I think it'll happen this week in the state legislature in Texas. They'll come back. And now,
they say they're coming back.
So they've spent 2 weeks on vacation. Now they got to come back and deal with pay the piper, I guess. I don't know. I wish that there was some way that it was set without that you couldn't go through. And even though it's legal for states to do it, I wish they would set the districts, and the districts would change based on census as opposed to being able to change, the gerrymandering and being able to change it by locations. I wish it would change them by census, but that's just me.
But they only do the census once every
10
years, right?
Yep. But we could up that. We could do it once every 5, and that that wouldn't be too bad if you did it once every 5. Think about this. Think about how many millions of people have left California that have moved to Texas, Tennessee, and whatever else, because that will change our landscape to some degree when the census comes out. We'll have more people.
Yeah, I got some. Well, they're not right beside me here. I mean, they're on up the street. I got some neighbors. I assume they're still here. As far as I know, they are. I got some neighbors up the street are from California.
So that representation left California and is now in Tennessee. And if we have enough people, new people in our census, we will get another congressman, which would most likely be a Republican, just because of the state. Or depends on where it is. So I think there's going to be some changes no matter what when the new census comes out, just because of people shifting from the country. We'll see.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It isn't. Well, it's they keep pulling these tools out of the bag. Used to, people went to the polls and we voted for who we wanted, and that's the end of the day. Now it's turned into, we're going to change where you can vote. We're going to change the areas of which we draw voters from. We're going to redraw maps. It's just, it's every day it seems the people lose more power in electing their officials, and the officials are moving things around to benefit themselves.
That's what I said to open up with. Let's just let the people do it, not worry about it. And it's just people worried about being out of power, I think, more than anything. That's where I do.
Absolutely. That's what it's about. 100%.
If I was in Congress right now and in the majority, and I thought we had done the right things, everything they've done, whether you agree with them or not right now, we're just talking to me saying, if I think everything I've done is right, then I run on that.
Absolutely.
I run on that. I don't worry about that, maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I didn't do that. Well, no, you voted for it, so you thought it was right, so it was right.
Yep.
So run on that. That's it. Run on what you've done, and that's just how I look at it.
Well, I agree with that 100%. I just think they're trying to get more. They're trying to scoot more of the red districts, combine them together, so that they can vote more. You know what I mean? They're trying to segregate the districts. If there's a district that's 2/3 blue and 1/3 red, they want to take that 1/3 red, move it over to another red district, so that district has more representation, and then again so that there's another red congressman instead of blue.
Yeah,
that's and I don't. Again,
well, it's interesting to watch them see what they're doing and see how. All it do, it'll cause them trouble somewhere down the road.
Oh yeah. Every time somebody does a trick here today to benefit themselves, down the road it'll benefit their opponents.
Yep, that's all it'll do. So, that's all it'll do. And everybody know. I mean, if you've lived long enough and you've watched this long enough, we all know that these parties, who's in charge or who's in power, every now and then it changes. It'll go from, it will swing back. Will there ever be a Democrat president again? Yeah, I'm sure there will be one day.
Sure.
I don't know when there will be, but will Congress be back in, Democrats be back in charge of Congress again? Yep, I'm sure that it will. It'll happen.
Yep.
That's just the way that, if you look at the history, and I'm not saying history can't change, because it can, but if you look at history will say, yep, it's going to change, and that's because people change, and people change their mind, and people go vote, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah, well, and that's the way it's supposed to be. that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to change when we change our mind.
Right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. There's a lot of things the way that it's supposed to be that's not a be. It don't happen. They don't allow it to happen. They're supposed to sit down and have a vote, at the end of the day. And ever who's in charge, ever who's in the majority wins. And you get up, shake hands, and go out the door and come back tomorrow and do the same thing again. But they don't do that. It's constant bickering and fighting, and, man, I love politics, and I know you do too, to a certain extent.
Sure.
And I love politics. I really do. I love to talk it. I love to argue it. I love everything about it. And I just think it's just interesting if you look at. But it just really, if today's time, it just puts a very sour taste in your mouth about it. It's I don't know. It's just there's something going on that's just not right.
Well, if you remember back when Harry Reid was head of the Senate, and he changed when we approved nominees from being a 60% to being a 50, basically plus one vote. Republicans warned they'll come back and bite you. I mean, they used it because it was a Republican Congress and President Obama was in there, and they used that to get a lot of his nominees in. They changed the rules, and now those rules are being used against them, and they don't like it. And I think we ought to leave all the rules alone the way they were set up in the beginning, and not change the rules to get our way, but change our ways to get elected.
I'm with you.
Yeah, so that's.
I agree. And I remember when Harry Reid done that.
Yep.
And like I said, you just said it just a minute ago before we even talked about that. What you do is going to come back and bite you eventually.
Well, sure.
Might not be today. How long ago has that been since Harry Reid done that?
What, 10 years, 12 years?
Yeah, it's been a few years. Right now, it's coming back to bite them right now. And so it's just like you just said, that it'll come back eventually to bite you.
Well, it bit really hard when Trump got two Supreme Court nominees, and they didn't have to have that supermajority or whatever it was to get them through. So that's that again, what you reap is what you sow, and one day it'll come back around.
Yep, that's a pretty true saying right there. So that's exactly what's happened. I agree with you 100%. Right.
Let me remind you in something local. Tell folks, and I guess we could talk about it. I've talked to a couple of people about it, but Coach Keith is coaching and teaching again.
Yeah, and I've really, I had to. I got that info, and I had to sit on it just a little bit till everything was smoothed over. Well, I ain't gonna say smoothed over. That's the wrong word. Till he was ready to release it.
Yep.
And then it's out now. So yeah, he got his teaching certificate back. Got his coaching certificate back. Coaching certificate back. He's coaching. He's at CAK. He's back to doing what I think he's meant to do, and he's good for, like I preached on here many times before, he's good for young people, and I'm glad to see him back in it. I never did say when I was preaching from my highest perch about him that I thought maybe that, they should put him back in as Clinton's head coach. I never said that. I just said, if he didn't do nothing, get his teaching certificate cleared up so he can get back into profession and do what he loves to do, whether it's here in Clinton or whether it's, somewhere in California, but just allow him to be able to do what he loves to do and wants to do. So, yes, he did get it back, and I'm glad to see that he got it back. He seems to be happy, and that's all you can ask for.
That's it. Something else, last week, Alan Beauchamp has a show over on Channel 12, and you and I were talking. I went and watched it, and he interviewed Dr. Parrott. And part of the interview, the last part of the interview, was about the, I'm going to say, ongoing grade-changing scandal, because Dr. Parrott even said that the comptroller is still investigating, and that was, last Tuesday. So as of last Tuesday, the comptroller of the state of Tennessee still has an open investigation going on, and I didn't realize it, but the comptroller can bring charges too. I didn't know that, but I've since found that out. You watched,
but it also sounded to me like the way they talked, and maybe I'm reading tea leaves here. Okay, maybe I shouldn't. It sounded to me like it was pretty much going to it was wrapping up though, and it was going to be over with. It did, but also the way you listened to them, to Dr. Parrott talk, there wasn't a lot of people involved in it.
Well, I think he said maybe 25, maybe 25 kids, and and he explained something. He said they didn't change grades; they changed the test. He said, for instance, a kid takes a test and it's 10 questions long, and they only pass 4 of them. They get 4 questions right and get 6 questions wrong, which that's a 40, and that's a failure. So they would take and cut 5 of those questions out. So then now it's only a 5-question test. They got 4 right and 1 wrong, which is a 90 and gives them an A. So they weren't.
I heard him say that.
They said they weren't changing grades; they were changing tests. Now that's semantics, and that's a flat-out lie. That's a lie. They were changing grades. I know it. You know it. Read the warrants of the 2 people that they've held accountable. They were changing grades.
So didn't he say also now today the principal is the only one that can do that? Or the principal is in charge of the...
Yeah, the principal's in charge of it. I went and sat down and talked to Robbie about it, too, when it was over. And just asked, what's going on? Me and Jacob and I were in there talking to him, and I said, because somebody had made the comment, doesn't matter, I'm going to pass anyway. Doesn't matter if I go to class, they're going to pass me anyway. And I was like, no, that's not how it works anymore. And Principal Harrell explained to me that yes, now there's a person that's over it. The kids are not allowed to do it. It has to be administered. Before, they were just given the access to it, and they went and did it and went on. Also, they didn't even have to go through and read the materials. You could just go to test only. So that somebody could go in and in 3 hours take a whole year of school just by going through and taking the tests. And it didn't matter what they answered on the test, because then the teachers, or at least accused right now, the guidance counselor and former teacher were going in. It didn't matter what they answered, because they changed them for them to make it pass.
Yes.
So that, I don't know. They just, I watched that, and it tried to make it sound like it was just, it's kind of a little thing. It's kind of done. I have a feeling that the state comptroller is going to see it a whole lot different, and I hope they blow it wide open.
Well, that's always a possibility. You never know.
Well, we did what as reporters, we're supposed to do. The way that the director of schools and the school board handled it and chose to bury it, hide it, say it didn't happen, not address it, not fix it, that should be up to the people that elect them, and that should be up, if people are satisfied with that type of school system, that's why Clinton High School is way down. Watch and see how far down Anderson County schools could continue to go. Just mark my words and watch it, because nothing changed. You didn't get any new school board members. You didn't get any, you did get two, but nothing's happened. Nobody's made any directives for the director of schools. Like I said, I know the principal of Clinton High School has made changes. I don't know if he was instructed to make those changes or just trying to be a good principal, like I think Robbie is. He initiated those changes. But yeah, I sat and listened to that, and it talked about it like it was just a little thing. There's a bunch of people still in the system that did it that need to be fired. I think most parents know that. And if they're not going to change it, you'll see kids exiting the schools.
Yeah, and they talked about losing more students again. I think we've lost students the last 2 or 3 years, maybe. I heard the number there. They said we lost this year's 100 and something. Eventually you keep losing 100 here, 100 there. That all adds up. And, with the voucher stuff going on, and I don't know how many people got vouchers from Anderson County, period, or Clinton City or Oak Ridge, either one. I mean, I hadn't heard I don't really think there's any way to know, actually, until maybe after a complete year is done.
Probably.
From what I've been told anyway. I will ask that question and see if I can get an answer to it.
There are two things. I think that if we didn't have issues like this going on in the school, and parents and the public had trust in the school board and the administration, I don't think people would want to leave. Why would you want to leave the best school in the state? We're a 5-star school. That's the best the state has to offer, David. Why would you want to take your kid out of that? If they were safe and you trusted the administration, you felt like the director of schools was being straight up with you about what happened, you'd made changes. Why would you need a voucher to take your kid out of that? Why would you even want to? It's the best school in the state. Because you know why? Because it's not. They lied to get there, and it's not. That's why. And people will continue to exodus. It's like them peeing on you and telling you it's rain. Oh, don't believe what you saw. Don't believe what you saw. Believe what we're telling you happened.
Yeah, I heard that. I like that.
Well, that's what it is.
But, yeah. Well, you wouldn't want to take your kid out of if you thought your kid was getting a max education and getting everything done, you wouldn't want to do that. And
I bet you dimes to donuts that Clinton Elementary School hasn't seen a decrease.
I've asked Kelly, and that's something I'll ask her and try to see if she knows. I hadn't talked to her in a while. I need to, I guess, and just see if she could tell us now if she's seen any effect of that. So
Trey's 19 and the twins are 15. So I've had 14 years in that school system, 15 years that my kids have been in the school system, and in that entire time, I've never heard anyone have any legitimate criticism of Clinton Elementary Schools. I mean, people have gotten frustrated over little things, and there's been squabbles with teachers. You know what I mean? Just normal stuff. Yeah. But as the school system as a whole, never. And you hear about Anderson County schools daily, whether it's them losing kids in the creek up in Rocky Top, kids wandering off, special needs kids and letting them walk out of the building, whether it's teachers being with students, which we've had that happen here, had to fire them. I mean, it's you don't hear about that in the elementary school. You don't hear about stuff like they don't let their kids run off. They're not changing grades to make our kids better. They're staying and working harder. But you hear about that on almost a weekly basis up here in the counties.
Yeah, the biggest thing you hear for Clinton City is when the kids go from 5th grade to 6th grade, some of them want to move on to the middle school so they can continue on the sports and play a little bit more competitive sports, and with football and all the other stuff that the county schools offer. that the city schools don't offer, and are limited in offering what they do offer.
Well, that's a lot less now than it used to be. Now that we've got basketball and archery.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is true. I think it still happens a little bit.
Yeah.
Where they want to go ahead and get integrated in the football system, or want to go ahead and get integrated into the basketball system at the middle school level, and I think some kids are still doing that, and maybe some kids do it too because there's a sibling already at that other school, and that pairs them up, and it makes it easier on a parent to, instead of going to 2 locations to pick up, you got to go to 1.
Yeah.
So I understand that too. So
this whole thing frustrates me because in the midst of all of it, I found out a lot of stuff. I found out this was taken to the board and Dr. Parrott some 6 months before it ever came out, and it would not have came out except the person that took it to him said, if you guys are not going to address it, I'm going to the media. Which I think that's the same person that wrote me the letter. But that said, it took a threat of legal and public action to even get them to address it. Otherwise, it'd still be going on. So anyway, so to watch it be downplayed, and I got permission from Brad. I'm going to air that audio between Dr. Parrott and Allen sometime this week. Let folks hear for themselves. But the like I said, the thing with the state comptroller, I don't guess they'd give you information on it, but the state comptroller's investigation is it's going on right now still. They haven't concluded their investigation.
Well, takes forever sometimes.
Yeah. But anyway,
you would think though that it would be over.
Well,
on the state, if the county level is over, you would think the state level is over. Not unless they're fixing to do something that's astronomical or something. I mean,
well, I think the county investigation was blunted. I'm not throwing off on the sheriff's department by any stretch of the imagination. But I can tell you this. I can tell you that the school board took it upon themselves and muddied all the water before they ever got the Anderson County Sheriff's Department involved, which made the Anderson County Sheriff's Department's job much more difficult. That's a fact. Ask Russell. That's a pure and simple fact. I know that the DA thought the same thing. It should have been turned over the minute they knew there was laws broken, but it wasn't. It was tried to be covered up. And it wasn't until they wasn't going to be able to cover it up that Dave Clark and any of the other folks found out about it. So that tells you all you need to know about why our schools are losing students. You got people that have been in there for 40 years, and if they ain't made it better by 40 years, they need to move on.
Yeah, if you've not done it in 40, you
ain't gonna do it.
Move on. You ain't gonna do it. You probably do need to do it. You probably do need to move on. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't understand why people don't run for school board. It's a position that it's like anything else that you run for. You do have to put a little time into it and be a little bit involved in it. And there are some requirements. Being on the school board is a whole lot harder than being a county commissioner or a city councilman, or there's some some things that are mandatory by law that you have to do, but they're not hard. They're not hard if I can do them. So let me just say that I've done them for a few years, and then it's go take a class here and there, and you just got to be involved. I think people run for these positions, Ron, and they get them. And then they say, "Oh man, wow, I'm in over my head," or there ain't nothing I can do," or something like that. They find out it's a little bit more than what they thought. Well, they should have researched it just a little bit more than just to run and not think that you didn't have to do anything. So there's some there is requirements on the state level that requires a little bit more to be on a school board than it does anything else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we obviously need good people on the school board. I'm not saying we don't have good people on the school board. I'm just saying what's going on in the schools right now that the school board's over is not acceptable to me. I mean, I don't, to have what happened in Clinton where 1,600, 1,700 grades were changed in order to there are students out there that were passed that can't read. You know it. I know it. They know it. That's not acceptable.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah. Hey, will this be the first time? Will this be the first time there's been a school board election since all this took place?
I think I think it's going to be the first one since it was out in full.
Yeah. Okay. So I think then you look at that and see what happens this time on the school board side to see how many people's up for real. I don't know who's up this time. I have no idea. I don't keep up with it. And
there's a few people I've heard that are considering running, and I hope that they do. I really do. We need some folks in there that have a different perspective. I get anytime you're in anything for a long time, like for instance me, I've been sitting here doing this radio in this building for 36 years. If you were to take and throw me over at another radio station, I might be lost. I can do radio, but I don't necessarily do it the way they do it. Things have changed since I sat down here. I haven't changed. I do things the way I've always done things, but you take and throw me in a brand new station somewhere brand new, there's a different way of doing things these days, maybe even better than I do, but I wouldn't know it till I got in it. So I'm hoping we get people in it, because the ones we have now are doing things the way we did in the 60s, and it's about time to change it.
Yep, I agree.
At least that's what I think. You didn't know I was going to drag you into all these places today, did you?
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, if somebody's doing a good job, you don't worry. They're doing a good job, and that shows up. Having some turnover every now and then is not a bad thing. I mean, to get some fresh ideas, and like you just said, you run WYSH the way you've run it for 36 years.
Yeah.
To go to a new place and do it different, well, that's not the WYSH way. That would be whatever station you went to would be their way.
Exactly.
And it could be better. So.
Yeah. So you just never know. Let me ask you. Here's something else I'll drag you into, and you don't
drag me into.
You don't have to go here if you don't want to. But what do you think about last week? Local resident, young man, Stephen McNally, announced he's going to run for city mayor.
Well, everybody has a right to run. All right.
Yep.
I have no qualms with somebody deciding they want to run and throw their hat in and go run. Mayor Burton's done a pretty good job this past 4 years. I've served with him on, well, I say 4 years, it's 3 years and something, 2 years plus. Mm-hmm. Fixing to end up on 3 at the end of the year. He's done a pretty good job. I mean, I think you got to understand as mayor, you're only one vote, bud.
Yeah.
If you don't it don't matter what kind of bright ideas you got. You can come in with the best ideas in the world. But if you can't get 4 people and drag 4 people along with you, it don't matter. Your ideas are not, they're going to stay where they're staying, right on the shelf.
Yeah.
So I think you have to look that, in general, that Mayor Burton's done a pretty good job. I have no beef with if he's done something, then I don't know about it. I think he's done a good job. To run on the fact that he's been mayor for a while, well, are we is Clinton headed in the right direction? Does people feel like, Clinton's headed in the right direction? Is he leading us in the right direction? But you got to look. He leads to a certain extent, but the city manager really leads. So the type of government we are. So, there's only so many things. Everybody thinks being the mayor is like being the mayor of some big city. No, it's not. It's, you sign documents and stuff like that. So it's not the big position like Knoxville mayor or the Knox County mayor or somebody else. They're just, most of them are just, he runs a city council meeting.
Almost a figurehead, you know?
Huh?
I said it's almost like the mayor's a figurehead. He's just like a council person. It's just he's got the title.
Right. You're right. He is. That's what I'm saying. So it really don't matter, you know. It really don't matter as far as if you can run as mayor and say, well, I do this and I do that and I do this. It'd be interesting to see how many people ran like that and how much at the end of a 4-year term they actually got done.
True.
Without having some people already on city council that agree with you, then it's probably, you know, it's probably not going to happen. So, like I said, I think Mayor Burton's done a good job. I might disagree with him, you know, just on term limits and stuff like that. But you know, that's just how what I think. So, but I think he's done a pretty good job.
You know, people tell me a lot, well, I would like to see more stuff out here for the kids, and I'd like to see more stuff. And I try to explain to people, you know, the people call me and they're mad because the city won't put in a Chick-fil-A. And I said, the city can't put in a Chick-fil-A. People just don't seem to understand. I think they believe that our elected officials have a lot more power than they do. And certainly they have zero power when it comes to the private sector outside of enforcing ordinances, right?
That's correct. Listen, if I had my way about it, we'd have a Chick-fil-A and we'd have a Pal's at the interstate. I love Pal's hot dogs, but you got to drive all the way to Upper East Tennessee to get one. But those are two, and I'm sure there's other things that other people would like to have, and maybe I get on board with that too. But I would, you know, we talked about this here not long ago about Chick-fil-A. I think we could support a Chick-fil-A.
I do too.
It's just Chick-fil-A don't think we can support it.
Yeah.
And this, the way the economy is today and where everything is today, they're into making money. They're not going to open a Chick-fil-A and lose millions of dollars.
Mm-mm.
So, you know, until we can convince them we can support one, you know, you just have to, I guess, be angry and be angry at them.
Well, they've got
them. Don't go to them in. Put a big boycott on. Maybe see if you can hurt them in the wallet. But I really think with the type of traffic we got, we could support a Chick-fil-A.
I think so.
I really do. I think what would be interesting to try to figure out, where is the last Chick-fil-A coming up the interstate on 75? Is it Knoxville? Is there one past us somewhere between here and up? I don't think there is. So there's, you know, maybe they would consider it. I
would think at least by the interstate, you know.
I just think we could support it up there. I really do. I was talking to some. I tell you, I was talking to my son yesterday about it. Me and him was talking about it, and I really think we can that we could support a Chick-fil-A. I wholeheartedly, I would go argue in front of Chick-fil-A's, whatever they got, a board or committee that you have to go to convince them that to come in and bring a Chick-fil-A. I would be more than glad to go up and run my mouth for 2 or 3 minutes to try to get them to bring a Chick-fil-A to the interstate. But you're right, we have no say-so whether we get a Chick-fil-A or not. I would love to see the Ingalls family do something in South Clinton. I would love to see them either do something with that area over there, put it up for sale, remodel it, try to get some businesses in there, do things they've talked about doing, but we have no say-so in it. I'd love to see somebody buy the Magnet Mill side and build something nice on it. I don't care whether it's whether they open small businesses up, or it's a restaurant, or whether it's condos on the water or whatever. I'd love to see that done, but we don't own that piece of property. It's not ours.
Yeah.
So we can't make them do it. We can't make them do it. We can't make the Ingalls family in South Clinton, sell their property. And I'd love for the property at the interstate to be a little bit cheaper than what it's going for per acre right now. But it's not. But we can't make the people lower their price up there on that.
I was just looking at this, David. Chick-fil-A gets over 40,000 applications each year, and they will only select maybe 75 of those 40,000 to open a new franchise. Also, the franchisee doesn't own the business. They own it. Your startup costs are between $585,000 and $3.3 million. You have to pay 15% of all sales and then 50% of net profits. Wow, that's pretty steep.
That's pretty steep, ain't it?
Steep. Wow. But
so maybe we're going about this wrong. Maybe we should get a committee together and put a presentation together and go and find out when they do it and present and see if we could apply.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe we should do that and see apply and see if we could get one somewhere here, up this way here, up towards the interstate, and see if we could get one. Maybe that'd be the way to do it. Maybe we do, maybe city, county, what goes up there benefits the county too.
Sure.
Maybe we all get together and try to see if we can't get to get them to bring one up there. Like I said, though, we can't, it'd be up to them, man. That's some steep.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's some steep stuff right there you just reeled off.
If I read it correctly too, just to make application, you have to pay $10,000 just to make the application to get it. I'm sure they give it back to you if you're not one of the 75 chosen. $10,000 just to ask.
God almighty. Wow.
And they own the building and they pick where it goes. You don't even get to pick where it goes. They pick. That's crazy.
Yeah, they've you talk about a monopoly. They got one, don't they?
Well, they seem to. They seem to be when it comes to chicken, they do. I don't know. Zaxby's might argue with you.
Yeah, they can argue, but man, there's always a line at Chick-fil-A, though, especially in the morning time and every time else. I mean, that's just that place is, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a huge Chick-fil-A fan. I'm not saying I can't eat it because I can, but to go down, and I do go to the one, Oak Ridge or wherever, but I'm just not. It's not something that I require every day in life to go on. Is say, well, if I don't get a Chick-fil-A biscuit this morning, I won't be able to work the rest of the day. I won't be able to function the rest of the day. I'm not that guy. That's just like on a certain brand of coffee. I'm not that guy on that certain brand of coffee. Pay $14 for a cup of coffee when you could, probably get it for $1.50. So I'm not that guy neither on that. I don't have to have all that latte stuff neither. But I'm just being, I don't like. I'm talking about Starbucks is what I'm talking about.
I know,
but I don't have to have Starbucks to function.
No,
I can drink just a regular old Food City brand of coffee and I'll be perfectly fine. But all those other stuff with those, I'm just not a fan of all that other stuff.
I don't need it either. I can't see paying $8 or $10 for a cup of coffee.
Nope, I can't neither. And be a matter of fact, I can count on one hand how many times I've drank it. And I probably take a couple of fingers off.
I'm the same way.
But I've got a granddaughter that loves Chick-fil-A. That's honest. Not Chick-fil-A. She loves Chick-fil-A too. She loves Starbucks. There's a drink at Starbucks she absolutely loves, and I just don't see it myself. But that's just me, all right. Yeah. Well,
long story short, though, as our elected officials, whether it be mayor, city council, or whatever, all you guys can do is make a good business, as good of a business and political environment as you can to attract people to want to come here, move here, and open businesses here. And after that, it's up to the private sector.
It is, and we're taking a small hit right now about Market Street, and it's not like we didn't tell those folks that it's it's going to be bad down there for a little while. Hang in, and it really looks like a bomb's been dropped down there if you just actually go look at it. But I believe when it's all said and done, I truly do believe this. I believe when it's all said and done, it'll be very nice down there, and it'll be something that people will come back to, and it'll be easier to get around down there, and it'll be there'll be some things go in down there that people's been asking for, and you talk about having things for kids to do. I'm trying to think what else here in Clinton we could offer for kids to do. We have a swimming pool. We have a couple splash pads. We have parks. We have playgrounds.
We have a bowling alley.
Do what?
I said we've even got a bowling alley.
We got a bowling alley that we're redoing right now to upgrade it and get it. We have a bowling alley that people can go in and bowl. We have a community center with an indoor gym that people can go to. We have basketball leagues. We have baseball leagues. We have football. Man, I was glad to see Weston Hazelhurst on there the other day with you.
Yes.
Listen to Weston, and I was on the recreation. I'm on the recreation advisory board when he came and proposed that he be the one to take football over. I couldn't think of just a better representative to take football over in Clinton. And as far as being one of the top athletes to come out of there in a while, he's at the top. And I know he's doing a good job, and he puts it all in. But I was glad to see Weston in there, and I hope he's real successful in what he does.
We're going to cover at least 2 of his games this year. We're working it out. Him and Jasper and Walt are getting together and putting it together. He wants to do it so that he can make a big deal about it with the kids and get them all hyped up to be on the radio. So they're working it out, and we're going to go do 2 games, which I think will be fun.
Yeah, well, I think Weston's trying to keep Clinton kids in Clinton.
Yep, absolutely.
He's trying to keep them here, and keep them going to school here. There's not a person, I don't think, that you could cut them out, and he probably bleeds Clinton, and he wants to see Clinton be successful especially on the football side, because he was successful on the football side. So Weston's doing a good job, and I'm proud of him what he's doing. So I think he's doing a good job. But I just was sitting here the other night thinking, what's something else that we could offer? What's something else that we could offer kids? Like I said, they got baseball, they got girls softball, they got soccer, there's a little bit of something for everybody to do. I mean, but some things require, once again, from the public that we're not involved in. But
yeah,
we've got all this stuff. There's, whether your kid wants to play sports or whether we've got all these things. So there's a lot of things. If somebody's got an idea of something, then give me a call or track me down or call you to get a hold of me or something, and let's see what we can. Let's see if there's something we can look at. I mean,
I know one thing that my kids talked about, Trey and Jacob, James David not so much, but they all wanted like a skate park, skateboard area. I know, U.S. Cellular helped Knoxville build one over there, U.S. Cellular skate park. And all the way back in 2009, we were talking about this, but there's a lot of liability that goes into that too. I don't know how a municipality can do that when you got kids breaking arms on a daily basis, because they do get hurt on those skate parks, but they love them.
Yeah, that's correct. I'll check on it. I'll ask. It don't hurt to ask. No. You're going to be told 2 things, yes or no.
True. True.
I mean, that's just true. So I know pickleball's really not for, I guess kids do play pickleball. I've seen some here recently.
It's getting younger.
We're expanding pickleball for our older people. I shouldn't say older people, younger people, middle-aged people, older people too, whoever wants to play pickleball. We're expanding our pickleball courts. We have tennis courts. We have outdoor basketball, 2 outdoor, maybe 3 outdoor basketball courts. We have walking trails. We have, I was told this by somebody that doesn't even live here, lives in Knoxville. man, y'all got one of the nicest dog parks around.
Yep.
I've never seen a dog park as nice as a dog park you've got. And then we've got Frisbee Golf over there. JB keeps expanding it a little bit at a time, and we've just got some more property donated over there that we're going to do, that there's some plans to do some other things on, so we're always expanding. So, I think Clinton offers a lot. I love the city of Clinton, and I think we offer a lot.
No, absolutely.
Could we be better in some things? Sure, everybody could be better in things, but I really think we've got it. We've got it going on, man. Where can you go live and get the things you've got for your tax rates at 55 cents?
No, you can't. You really can't.
Let's just be honest just a minute. What can you buy for 55 cents?
You can't get a Coca-Cola. Nope.
You can't buy an apple 55 cents.
No, not today.
Okay?
True.
But we're going to give you police protection, fire protection. We're going to pick your garbage up, and we're going to offer you all this other stuff. 55 cents. Now, I know that 55 cents times out a little bit on your house, on your property taxes, and it's a little bit more than 55 cents. But just think about that for a minute. 55 cents.
Yep.
I mean, that's not nothing. 55 cents is not nothing. I know some people, you be one of these people I'll be talking about. You don't want to pay no taxes, period.
No.
So, but 55 cents is not a very high tax rate. So
it's not.
Most people have to pay for all the stuff I just talked about. That you have to pay a little bit more in taxes in order to get them.
My federal income taxes where it's driving me insane. Property taxes, mine are going to go up a little bit. I'm not going to complain too much about that. For what we get from the county and what we get from the city, you're not going to hear much about me. But my federal taxes, I got to figure out something, or I'm gonna. That's where they need to cut those. I don't know. That's where my problem lies at the end of the year when they tell me what I owe at the end of the year. My accountant keeps telling me, well, we're going to do this every quarter, and every quarter it gets worse and worse and worse. I don't know.
I heard that. Well, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
No, I know.
But I'm just saying we offer a lot here in Clinton. We have a really good K through 6 school system. I wish it went further in grades. I really do. I done everything when I was on there to try to get that to go to 8th grade, and we just couldn't find it. It was more of a financial thing than anything.
Yeah. In
order to do, maybe we should have went out on the limb and borrowed all the money and went ahead and done it anyway. But we just felt like it was too big of a burden to place on the city, not just because if the school's burning, it's a city burden too. So
sure.
Just to place and have out here, it was a really big burden. But just to build the school, I can't imagine what it would cost to build it today. But it would be big bucks. But
now just check with county schools. They're building one.
Yeah, no kidding, and it's big bucks too.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I hadn't heard anybody give any reports recently where they're at on it. I'm sure they've got it. The last time I seen it, they had broke ground, and it was looked like they were getting ready to form up some stuff, maybe. So I'm sure they're well with that project going on. So, but anyway, I mean, but like I said, getting back to Clinton, we offer a lot, and Mayor Burton's been a part. He's been a part of all that. I mean, so we'll just see. All I can say is good luck to Mr. McNally in running against him, and good luck to the mayor also. But everybody has a right to run, and I applaud somebody for wanting to put their name in the hat.
I was talking. My mom and dad were up the other day, and they were talking about it. La Follette doesn't have a pool anymore. They covered theirs up. Cove Lake doesn't have a pool. Used to have a bowling alley. They closed the bowling alley. And when you start looking at what we offer versus just right down the road, like town like La Follette offers, we've got a lot more going on here in Clinton for our kids. A lot more.
Yep. I mean, there's like I said, we could always do better. Yeah, sure. Everybody could always do a little bit better. We could do a little bit better, but we offer. I think we offer a lot. I'll argue with anybody that that we don't, because I think we do. So that's, to me, it's not a really good argument when we're offering what we're offering. I mean, sure, we could have a skateboard park. Maybe we need to look back into that again and just and see what it would take. I don't know today where we would put a skateboard park. That would be the first thing, is finding, I guess in South Clinton somewhere over near the dog park, we could find some place to put a skateboard park over there. But maybe that would be someplace we could get over there in South Clinton.
I don't know how big of a trend it is still. Trey does some, but Trey's 19, and in college he don't have time for it. Jacob does a little bit, but they used to all the time. That was something big for a little while. I don't know if it's still great big need out there or not, but people talk about it. Lots of stuff.
Well, you used to see skateboarders everywhere, but today you don't see as many as you used to.
True.
So, hey, I know your son's in the Pride of Southland band.
Yes, sir.
I know they've changed their route marching a little bit this year.
Well, I haven't talked to him about that. I talked to him this weekend. He worked all weekend. Today's first day of class. He moved in. He moved into his dorm on the 11th. Yeah, he got in on like last Monday. He got in. He got everything situated. All he's been talking about is needing groceries. We hadn't talked about the new routes or anything yet.
He's just needing food. Hey?
He needed groceries, so we got him set up. The dorm that he's in Volunteer Landing, I think is where it is. But he's got his own kitchen, so he didn't want a food card this year from the university. He wanted to buy groceries. So that's where we're at. We're getting him all set up. I'd get him set up this weekend so he could have an account to get some groceries. I have to keep an eye on it, make sure that's all he's buying, his groceries.
I heard that. Hey, just to talk a little sports, I seen last night flash up on ESPN that Tennessee's named the starting quarterback. Aguilar is the starting quarterback that's going to open up for Tennessee against Syracuse. So they finally did name a starting quarterback.
Yes. Going to be interesting to see how it works. The other day, Sterling Hinton was up here. He was recording some stuff for Jasper's Sports Talk show, but he sat and talked to us for a long time about UT football. I'm going to get him up here to tell some of these stories. Man alive, he had stories like you wouldn't believe, but we were talking about the portal, what brought us our quarterback and where we've lost a lot. And I just wanted to get his perspective on what he thought about it, and he said he thought it was great. He was telling stories about kids that had went into the program and worked their tail off all, their entire freshman and sophomore and junior years for that promise that they had senior year. And then all of a sudden somebody else comes in and gets that opportunity. And he said back in the day you were held hostage by the school. You couldn't do anything. Once you decided to stay, you had to set out for so long and all this, you couldn't leave. So he felt like it was a good thing, but that they needed to get some regulations and get some, some formality about it where it's, where there's rules that apply to all and not separate conferences. But he thought it was a good thing that they were able to do that. I thought
Let's talk about one more thing that we ain't talked about, but I've heard it being talked about on the radio this morning, and I know people are buzzed about it. Is the new scoreboard?
Yeah,
it's at the field. Really, it's not much of a scoreboard. It's more of a big video board. The video board is really pretty good size. The scoreboard part of it's pretty small, but they finally got it up. 3 years in the making. But took 4 years to get it up, but finally got it up.
Good. I think that's going to be great. I think that it is, it's just, it's like community pride. You know what I mean? Something new, something exciting. Yeah, something new technology up there. gets the kids excited. I think gets the community excited. I mean, you can have people holding up cards and know what the score is, so it's not necessarily going to help us know what the score is. It's just going to make it look better and be more exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be. I've seen a couple of videos where they had, I think it said Go Dragons on the big video part of it. From my understanding, if I've been told right, and I got a pretty good connection there that's telling me this, it should be a go for Saturday night. Everything should be for a go on it. Now, whether they can actually run it and do the other things, I'm sure that's going to take a while to figure out how to get the videos up, how to load them, how to get them to play and do all that stuff or whatever they're trying to do. But I think it's something it finally catches us up with a lot of other people around us around here.
Dave, was that a county city venture together? County, city, public, private? I mean, how did we pay for all that? Do you know?
I think that was some people that donated some pretty good money for that thing. And the county might have kicked it. The county. I don't think the city had anything to do with it. I think the county could have had something to do with it. I don't really know, but I think there were some private donors on that thing that helped with a pretty big majority of that. That's what I think. Now, somebody else could call in after I hang up here in just a little bit and say, well, he was wrong. All right, I was wrong, but I'm saying right now I could be wrong. But I think there were some private donors.
Those things are expensive.
There's already some businesses and stuff's names on there, like Dr. Robbins and different people like that. I think ETSU's on there. But there's things on there. There's room on there for other people to still sponsor on there today. So, I think it's what better way to have WYSH flash on the video?
Absolutely, I'm in. Somebody,
as far as advertisement goes on, I mean,
somebody call me and tell me how to get it on there.
That'd be a good way to. That's me thinking. If I'm talking about raising money, flashing your business 2 or 3 times up on the scoreboard.
Yeah,
people's getting to see it. So that's just a way to maybe raise some funds. That's just how I would be thinking about the whole situation. But I don't know how it's going to. I don't know how anything other than it's up and I've seen it and I know it works and it's functional. That's all I can tell you. So, but I think it's something a lot of people are excited about. I think a lot of people are excited about Clinton football this year.
How about the preseason game, the scrimmage, where we came up 21-14 short, but I mean we were on a 2-inch line when basically time ran out.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm sure that if you ask the coach, he probably didn't do everything he wanted to do in that game. He probably left some tricks in the bag. He didn't maybe run everything, and because you usually don't do that, you try to say some things and try to catch people off guard when the season starts. So I'm interested to see how the season's going to play out this year. It's really hard to. There's only a certain few teams around here that you can predict things are probably going to predict high school sports. Alcoa and Maryville, Anderson County to a certain extent recently here in the last few years has been really good. So we'll see what they bring to the table this year. I know they lost a lot from last year. It'll be interesting to see Alcoa and Anderson County being in the same region, district, whatever it's called now. I know that'll be an interesting game later on in the year, but it's harder to pick high school than it is college.
Yeah.
College, you can look at it, man. And I don't know right now. I'm sort of torn about Tennessee. I mean, I don't know whether Tennessee's going to have a winning season this year or whether it's going to be just mediocre, being 8-4 or 7-5 or something like that. I think with a new offensive line, new quarterback, new running backs, and very thin at wide receiver, then offensively is going to be a struggle. And that's just me.
Well, I can tell you that Sterling Hinton feels like that we're going to be able to play with anybody. He felt like that we're going to take Georgia out this year. Of course, he's all Vol. He was quarterback, so he's going to, he's in it to win it. But he seemed very, very optimistic, and he's been over there working with them, over there on campus with them, and not working out with them.
Well, he's trying to keep his job over there too, spending them records.
Yeah, he
playing
is.
that music during the game. So he ain't got no choice but to say that, probably whether he believes it or not. I mean, I really think, if you listen to people that think they know, that are in the know or say they're in the know and know what's going on, I think most people right now is leaning Tennessee's 8-4, 9-3. Okay, I think when they come out with the rankings and we came out at number 24, does that say anything to anybody? And I think it does. I think it says a lot that they just don't think that Tennessee's down this year, and so we'll see. But you just a win here and a win there, and we'll see. But I don't know if Tennessee can get Georgia or not. I would think if I'm putting a check mark as a loss, Georgia's one that I put a check mark by right now.
Well, we've got to go to Bama. We got to go play Bama at on their field. We've got Georgia.
I tell you, I worry less about Bama than I do Georgia, just for the simple reason I don't think Alabama is what Alabama used to be.
Well, I agree with that.
The Nick Saban effect's gone, and I think Alabama's slid back down to sure, it's a rivalry game. Don't get me wrong. I agree with that. It's a rivalry game, but I just think Alabama has slid a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on. But let me ask you: could you live with 9-3?
Yep, I could live with 9-3.
Okay.
I could live with 9-3. I can live with 9-3 for a while. I mean, I'd like, if we were 9-3 on a consistent basis and every now and then popped in an 11-1 or got to play if we're playing for an SEC championship on a pretty consistent basis, or at least, in the hunt for the East, I'm okay with that. I don't, I know we're not going to win the state champion or the national championship every year, but I like to see us, on the top side of a winning season. So 9-3, 7-5. I don't. That leaves a bad taste in my mouth. 9-3, I'm good.
9-3 sounds better than 7-5.
Boy, it does.
It even sounds better than 8-4, to be honest. And I think most people right now, most of the sports people in Knoxville, if you listen to them, I think most people they're really 8-4, 9-3. That's where they're at.
Who are we worried about? We're worried about Georgia. Are we worried about Oklahoma? Oklahoma comes here this year, don't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm just wondering who we're worried.
I think we're worried about Alabama. I think we're worried about Georgia. I think we probably are worried about Oklahoma.
Florida.
Even though they are coming here, I think we're worried about Florida. I mean, if you just took that's 4 games right there. If you lost all 4 of them, there's you 8-4.
Yep.
The only thing I could say is I'm glad it's starting.
Me too. I'm ready for it.
I'm glad it's starting, but I do know this. I do know it's very aggravating when it starts. You get very aggravated at the TV, and you want to throw things at the TV. You say bad things to the because Tennessee can make you, man. They can
break your heart.
They can kill you. I mean, they can just absolutely just kill you, and you just it's hard to get over sometimes.
Florida's always the hardest one for me. We could win Florida and lose everything else, and I'd still be happy. I wouldn't be super happy, but as long as we beat Florida, I'm happy.
Yeah, and I think, there's a lot of people feel that. There's a lot of people feel that Florida's the game that Tennessee needs to win.
Yeah.
So, everybody's saying this could be Heupel's worst year that he's had since he's been at Tennessee. So we'll see. I mean, we ain't even kicked the football off yet, and they've already saying this would be the worst year. I mean, like I said, these are people that's around the program every day for a little while anyway, and they see what's going on in practice, and they see different things. So, I
don't know.
Anyway, that's my take on it, buddy.
I see Georgia. Yeah, I don't think Mississippi State has anything that they're going to throw at us. I don't think Arkansas has anything bad they're going to throw at us. So Alabama, Georgia, I don't know. Oklahoma didn't impress me last time we played them. I don't know. We might even be 10-2 the way I'm looking at it, because I don't think Florida's what they used to be. I certainly don't think Alabama's what they used to be. You know, really.
The only thing about the Florida game, we got to go to the Swamp.
Yep, that's it. So
that's the only thing. We got to go to the Swamp, and that's the only thing. Hey man, I appreciate you letting me be able to call in this morning. I just couldn't be there, and I'll try to limp in there next month and maybe even have a surprise guest. I appreciate you letting me just call in. And as always, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to run my mouth for a little while, because I'm good at that. That's about the only thing I'm good at, really. But I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. And I appreciate WYSH and all that you do for the community and everything you do for, the fair and all that stuff. And maybe I'll have a little bit more report on the fair to give a little bit more report on the fair, what kind of fair we had this year. I'm sure that we had a really good fair, but I know we had a really good fair. I just don't know financially what the fair did this year yet, but it'll be interesting to see how that. But I appreciate WYSH, and not only WYSH, I appreciate Merle too. Because Merle does some stuff for us too, and I know that's in the building there with you. And I appreciate you guys and what all y'all do for us. And like I said, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. I don't know why you thought having me on for a little bit would be a good thing, but like I said,
well, you balance me out sometimes when my Republican ways get too right.
Well, you know what? You sort of brought me. I don't think like I used to, as far as being Democrat, Republican. If you actually look at me, I probably vote more Republican than I do Democrat. I mean, just to be honest, I do vote all the way Republican, just about it. So I'm not no bona fide guy yet. Anyway, they ain't called me up and said you're bona fide.
You don't have your sticker yet, right?
I ain't got no sticker that says I'm bona fide. But maybe someday, maybe I make that switch, and boy, that'd be a big announcement.
Boy, that would be.
But I don't believe in the Democrat ways today. I can tell you that much. They don't think the way David thinks. And I used to be a diehard. I used to come up there to your office and I could argue it till I was blue in the face.
This is true.
I just can't do that today.
No, I know.
I disagree with a lot of their tactics. I disagree with a lot of things. We're not in charge. They're not we. They're not in charge right now. I think they're being babies about it. That's me thinking that. I think they ought to take it. They ought to know that, as we talked about earlier, times will change. They will be back in charge again eventually. And if they want to stay in charge, maybe they should do good things and try to stay in charge and listen to what people want.
Agree.
So that's all I got to say about it.
I agree with you 100%, buddy, and I'm glad you're able to call in. I wish you's up here, but I know you're on the mend, and hopefully you'll be rip-roaring and ready to go by next month.
Well, hopefully I will be, and but like I said, I appreciate you allowing me to do this. I really do, and I will. I'll talk to you next month. I'm sure I'll talk to you for next month, but I appreciate it. If you need anything, give me a call, buddy.
Same thing, Dave. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. We do it on the third Monday of every month. David comes up. He's brought guests with him. We had Mr. Kidwell up here. We've had city manager. Roger's been up here. No telling who he'll bring with him next. And David always brings an opinion with him, which is why folks like to hear it. And that's people enjoy that and know exactly where you stand and how you stand. And I appreciate Dave for taking time to do it. Makes my job easier, because when Dave's on, Dave talks a lot. So it makes me not have to. All right, I'll call it a day, I reckon, unless there's anything else that you get. And somebody said, Jasper brought it in, they said, Ron, you didn't draw for Trading Time Treasure today. And you're right, I didn't. I'm sorry. I forgot about it. I'm going to draw for it right now. Okay, let me see. Draw out. Hang on here. Okay, who was caller number 6 today? Caller number 6. There you go. There's the number 6. And that number was 865-660-1913. So if that was you this morning on Trading Time, call me and claim your Trading Time treasure, free tickets to go to Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary for their tour. Trading Time treasure, I try to do it every day, where we simply give you something for being part of our Trading Time program. We draw out of everybody that's on. Jasper told me we're getting ready to have where we're giving away $100 bills. Oh, yeah. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Every day? If we're going to give away $100 bills every day, I might put my name in. Well, just listen. You never know what Trading Time treasure might end up being. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, for being here with me, for just being part of what we do. We couldn't do it without you, for sure. Couldn't do it without you. And I hope you'll ask your friends to listen. I say this a lot. If there's something that I can do for you, something we can do, whether it's play a song, make an announcement. I mean, we talk about everything from church revivals to family reunions and anything in between. We'll do it. Hang on, let me see if it's somebody for me here on the radio before I call it a day. Are you calling to be on Ask Your Neighbor?
No, I'm calling to tell you I didn't say anything about no $100 bills.
I thought you said you're going to be putting up $100 bills for us to give away, buddy.
No, I was going to bring your checkbook to you.
Oh, never mind. We'll nix that then.
But there is a chance that if you get down to Clinton Dragon Stadium on Saturday night, you can register to do the Pass for Cash on Lowe's Toes.
The Lowe's Toes Pass for Cash, $500 to drop it in the barrel.
Drop it in the barrel. So
there you go.
Of course, I want to invite all of our listeners. Tomorrow night kicks off our Pizza Express Tuesday night sports talk, and we'll have Coach Alvin Taylor as our in-studio guest, and we'll be covering some of the top 100 Clinton Dragon players of all time. And, of course, we're going to be doing a community-wide survey, and we're going to have the ballots that you can actually pick up at Hoskins Drugstore in Clinton.
Fantastic.
So you can fill it out. So, and, of course, with the sports talk, we'll have a new segment.
Yes.
It's full of energy. You know who that is, don't you?
Sterl the Pearl.
Sterl the Pearl will be giving his outlook on some of the UT football games upcoming for this year, and putting his little twist on things. So I invite everybody to tune in tomorrow night with me and Walt Stair.
That's going to be interesting, going to be fun. We need to get him back up here and him tell some of those stories he was telling, just me and you sitting around talking.
Yes, sir.
Because he's got some interesting.
He's open for
it. He's got some tremendous stories, don't he?
He does. I mean, he's well connected with some of the former great football players that went on and played in the NFL and competed against a lot of them. And, you know, his stories, you just kind of want to tune in. And listen. He's a good. He can orchestrate them very good.
He does. He keeps your attention.
Orchestrating Johnny Majors inside the building.
All right, buddy.
But anyway, we'll be there in a minute.
See you, bud. Bye-bye. Bye. All right, guys. Speaking of Tuesday night.
Hey, ball family. This is Sterl the Pearl Hinton. That's right, DJ Sterl the Pearl. Tune in every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. for the Pizza Express Tuesday Night Sports Talk with Jasper Young and Walt Stair here at WYSH.
There it is. Enjoy, my friends and neighbors. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow and ask your neighbor. Or email from our website. It's Ask Your Neighbor. Thanks for listening.